So this one, I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. Are they going to pick ones right afterwards? Are they going to pick twos right afterwards? I think there's so many options you can go with. But let's see what happens, Stacks. Soniqs versus Rogue, run away.
One thing you can probably expect to not happen, I don't think any of these teams are going to pick ones, as Andy got a quick shot on Taroko. Neither has chosen ones, neither has won a 1v1 so far today. ZPS getting the scoring started, all set up by that quick win by Andy.
Taroko got stuffed by his own post on the attempted save, and there was no follow-up coming. Both of Rogue's defenders still rotating back into the play. The ZPS was there to pick it up first, gets the first goal for Soniqs.
Some of those stats going to be a little bit skewed. Remember, Rogue did run into kind of a buzzsaw. I think clearly the #1 team in this tournament, Space Station Gaming. And yes, they were one of Daniel's 2 victims earlier today. Here goes T. Corral. Flip reset to leave it for ZPS, but Aqua's there, so is Gyro. And Andy will just split the difference with Taroko being forced to kind of serve as the last line of defense, and then that sets up Aqua, and ZPS has to get back in a hurry. One thing we're seeing, Jorby, constantly now in North America, the teams that can defend their backboard or their back wall in general are by far more successful, and that sounds kind of like a, well, duh kind of take, but we see some of the top teams with a lot of whiffs coming off that back wall, and some of these up-and-coming teams, they have that down pat.
And especially dangerous in 3v3 when you can always have a player up ready just in case you end up missing that ball. Cleared out downfield here by Andy and punched again, but defense is, you gotta be really good at it with how good the mechanics are getting in general. You know, there's not a wealth of mechanics on the field in this matchup. You certainly have players that are good mechanically, but, you know, comparison to other teams in North America when you're talking about backboard defense, is you gotta have that on lock, because all of a sudden it gets harder to defend the backboard the more mechanical of a player you're playing against. And you do have a lot of that on Soniqs. You have a little bit of that on Rogue with Aqua, but we'll see which team defends a little better. Right now, T. Corral got a great touch, a great bump, and he has to play his own ball out.
ZPS through the corner. Andy waiting right there to play the follow-up as everybody's kind of turtled up defensively. Aqua quickly downfield, but there's nothing there. That just one win is going to come right back in, and we'll see all these demos at the midfield line, and who comes out on top there. It was a 50-50 between 2 teams getting demolished, one on each side, as Taroko could not find Gyro. Aqua just throws another downfield, waiting for the Soniqs to kind of give away an opening, and none are coming as T. Corral brings it right back into the Rogue end of the field, and Gyro found a seam to clear this ball away. But again, the problem is with all these big clears, Jorby, they're not finding teammates, they're not getting the follow-up touch. Soniqs are bringing it right back in, as Andy does there.
Yeah, Soniqs have been just allowed to march back down the field. Rogue are constantly fighting for the neutral zone. Even right there, Taroko shuffles it out to the side. Gyro's gonna come in. You see the whole back wall there. Gyro gets one touch onto a Soniqs defender. Aqua's got control now, but he's out of boost. You see Taroko and Gyro both playing the loss there. T. Corral gets back to the 50, and Taroko ends up giving up the play. That's a chance for ZPS, but he gets back to his own touch.
This particular combination for Rogue does not have a 3v3 win today, and they're down 2-0 to T. Corral. It was Gabe, the coach, that subbed in for their very first game, the only 3v3 that Rogue has won against Xset over on the B stream. Shout out to Spaceman, who had to watch his team play again. And now a 2-0 lead for T. Corral and the Soniqs. Minute 39 to go. Rogue's 3v3 struggles continue.
I'm not sure why Aqua went out wide on that touch from Taroko on the goal that went in. Almost made up for it right there, but it's taken away. He's expecting Taroko to push that ball out to him, but he's the last man back on the play. And you gotta know a Soniqs attacker is waiting for that challenge on the other side. And I feel like that's been Aqua's problem a lot of the times on Rogue. Well, it feels like a lot of the time the onus is put on Aqua to try to make those crazy goals happen for Rogue. I really think he puts himself into bad spots sometimes positionally, and he makes life harder for Rogue's rotation in general. This time, ZPS, I mean, ZPS has looked like one of the faster players in the lobby so far, but it's all set up by T. Corral here, drilling through 2 defenders.
ZPS has always been a very wily, opportunistic player. And with T-Corell and Andy to set the table, you can expect ZPS to get a ton of goals. Here goes Taroko trying to get one for Rogue. You'd be happy with that. Instead, ZPS with the stop, and he almost scored over 2. Follow-up from Andy, gonna slow it down. He's not in any rush, and because you can't rush perfection, Taroko does get there to make the save.
Aqua trying to push that ball downfield. But this is very comfortable for Soniqs, and I'm thinking about Aqua putting that ball in and starting the clock for the Rogue comeback.
Yeah,
37 seconds left. I'm still thinking about game 2. Yeah. That's the thing is, if Rogue, so if Rogue loses, do they do 2v2 or 1v1, right? Neither team wanted 1v1, so they're gonna do 2v2. It's Aqua Gyro, right?
You would have to imagine yes.
And then
Taroko slam one to the backboard. Andy's got that clear. There's at least some pressure here out of Rogue. Less than 30 seconds. Aqua, can he pop one out to Gyro? It certainly can, but he just didn't hit it on target. Taroko does with 22 on the clock, and hold everything for just a moment. There's still a little bit of life here in Rogue.
So you saw ZPS jump down off the back wall to try to hop the passing lane, and he just wasn't on target. Instead, the ball went somewhere else, and that left the gap open for the next shot to happen for Taroko. And now they go for the fake kickoff. Here they come down the field. Taroko got the 50 in front of the box. Goal! It's like 20 seconds of gameplay. 3 goals for Rogue.
21 to be exact. They scored with 37 left, and we're like, okay, well, I mean, 37. We're still kind of looking to game 2. We're looking to overtime now with 16 to go. All of a sudden, Rogue comes storming back. And Andy has watched this game turn completely on its head. 50-50 goes out towards Gyro as he almost chased it down. He'll streak down the side, throw one to the corner. T-Corell wasn't ready for it, but Andy trying to bring this down to ground. And yeah, if I'm Aqua, I don't let this touch down. They've got all the momentum, but this will touch down. We go to overtime.
Oh man, Rogue have completely taken over. Can they keep that momentum on the kickoff? No, T-Corell wins it! It's in! Soniqs hold on to the game, and try as they may, heroic comeback mechanics involved, but Soniqs win it regardless.
After all that, you lose on a kickoff goal.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling, because you were saying at the end, you're like, oh, Rogue, they have all the momentum. Why not play it? Because overtime kickoffs literally kill momentum so many times for teams. How many times do we see a 0-second goal go in, or like a goal with 5 seconds go in, and then, okay, next kickoff, oh, we lost. That's Rocket League.
I'll tell you what, I know we're going to see a ton of them when we inevitably get to our 1v1 matchup, whenever it is. I absolutely despise kickoff goals in a 3v3 setting. Come on.
T-Corell loves them.
Oh, I'm sure. He absolutely does.
A big fan.
And to no surprise, look, Rogue has had a choice twice so far today on what format to go after a loss. Both times they've chosen 2v2, make it 3 for 3. They're going to go 2v2 again, so that 1v1, which I know both teams would love to avoid, will have to wait for game 3, and it could be a closeout opportunity if the Soniqs are victorious here. We know they're going to throw Andy. Have to imagine maybe T-Corell would be the
no, I think ZPS was looking pretty good. I thought ZPS was looking good, but T-Corell is the more mechanical player. It does make sense to go with him. I'm just all about the hot hand, Stacks. I'm all about this narrative. I'm pushing it.
Yeah, well, T-Corell's got 2 out of those 4 goals. He had the overtime winner. He's on the pitch, and he's watching Aqua score as Rogue gets a lead quickly.
T-Corell coming back, waiting for that catch, and he does get the first touch, but then Gyro screens him off the ball. And so that play all set up by Gyro. T-Corell, not a bad idea to try to catch that ball, trap it, give yourself a chance at a 50 in front, but it didn't anticipate Gyro not quitting on the play and forcing you off the ball. Oh my goodness, that's in too. Why is this in? Hang on a second.
Magic.
On the kickoff, Andy rotating back, got the boost, and T-Corell, I think he just should have had that one. It was an awkward kind of angle, but he kind of times his flip weirdly, and it doesn't go in. Or it does go in, and he does not get it, rather.
This is the only format where Rogue has a winning record so far tonight as Aqua slams one home right on the doorstep. Make it 3-0. A hat trick 18 seconds in.
Oh, this just doesn't stop. Win the kickoff, win the game. You think kickoff goals hurt in 3v3, but they hurt even more in 2v2. Don't have to mention 1v1. I think we're all very familiar with how angry.
Oh, yes, we are.
1v1 kick.
Aqua and Gyro that won the 2v2 earlier today against Xset in their opening round match. The only other 2v2 they had to play, I believe, was game 5 when they, again, beat Xset. There's their 2 wins. The other, of course, was Space Station Gaming, where they were swept. And if you're a Rogue fan, I'm going to take it easy on you. We don't need to talk about it. Andy getting on the board here for the Soniqs, and they get one back. We're still in the first minute. It feels like we've been here for a few with all these early goals. Well, that's a big relief for Soniqs, and Andy in particular getting his first goal of this series.
How about that goal by Andy? Really nice. Got the catch underneath the left side of the ball to pull it wide of Gyro's approach. It's a nice little move from Andy. But ball sniffed out by Aqua. He's gonna have to contend with T. Carell, who handles the ball nicely. But Aqua's been a fiend in this 2v2 so far. Granted, most of the Rogue's goals came literally right after the kickoff. This time, not this time. Gyro works for this one off the 50.
Gyro, welcome to the scoring sheet. What a win over Andy. And I think that is almost Gyro lulling them into a false sense of security. He had chances to dive in. He came up, he peeled off, came up, he peeled off. And then as they start to break out of the zone finally, Gyro just puts it in park with the backflip, wins that, scores, and then he makes the stop on the ensuing kickoff here. Aqua gonna have a tough time with that one bouncing off the wall, but he's got it. And now Gyro, maybe hoping Aqua would have jumped there, but it works out okay as Rogue get back downfield, and Aqua all the way across. He's gonna try and work. T. Carell coming back in. He will get there to clear away.
Andy very happy that that ball wasn't immediately put into the net as he comes back for the clear. Now T. Carell left with 38. Perfect cutoff on the pass. This gives Andy a chance at it. This should be a goal. It is. Andy puts it in. Good work from Soniqs to cut the lead.
No lead is safe. Whether it's 3v3, 2v2, certainly not 1v1, and certainly not with these two teams. They can score in bunches. Andy gets one there. T. Carell picking up a second assist here in this game. 3 for the series. He's been very active, whether it's 3s or 2s for the Soniqs. Now Andy, given just a little bit of time, they're coming in from all angles, and he avoided all of it. And now Aqua's kind of made a mess of this. Just got to play it back to Gyro, who did not boom it downfield. And T. Carell can catch this, and maybe a little more possession than Rogue would have bargained for coming out of the Soniqs. Andy doesn't have the second touch, and Aqua can finally just casually walk this out. Did he score this from here? No.
Gets shuffled off the ball by Andy.
You never know.
Trying to carry it out. Oh, I thought he had it, but Andy's gonna get the ball again. Now Soniqs lost the ball, trying to get that momentum back, but they're having trouble having to respond. Look at T. Carell locked on the backboard with only 23. Had to expend, really just hoping to get that boost as the play shuffles towards the right. And Andy trying to force that ball back to T. Carell. He gets it, going downfield as well. I like how the Soniqs approach their 2s rotation. They play close, even when they're on lower boost. They will leave sometimes, but most of the times you'll see T. Carell sitting in that passing lane, making sure to cut that off. Andy backing this up, gets a hard touch, needs to buy T. Carell time. I think that the synergy's there for the Soniqs team, but T. Carell just misread that completely. That one on T. Carell completely. He misreads the ball, tries to time it early. You see the jump come really right before the bounce happens, and he gets punished for his read.
He went chasing a waterfall, and he came up empty. 3-goal lead now for Rogue. Gyro adding his second of this game. And they slow things up off the kickoff, so there'll be possession for Soniqs. And then Gyro from the heavens right at T. Carell. And Aqua now to try and clean it up, but T. Carell with the save. And Soniqs, they thought they were real clever there. Now they just kind of go brute force, and Gyro avoids T. Carell, makes the stop. He may score this as well. T. Carell with him every step of the way.
Well, Rogue, good for their 6th there, but Gyro almost getting it. T. Carell rolling around the whole back side of the pitch, even though you're down by 3, looking for midfield boost.
Yep.
And it finally comes, and I have to say, Stacks, you know one of my biggest pet peeves in Rocket League is watching pros just skip all the boost pads and go for corner and mid boosts. Like T. Carell literally just pretended as he puts that shot off. He just pretended like the entire middle of the field didn't exist, and he left Andy all by himself, just thinking that goal was going to go in when you had, at that time, it was about 1:40 left to go. And I'm just saying, those rotations have to be a little bit tighter. You can't get distracted by the shiny boost pads.
Jorby,
Corners.
talk to my high school team for me. They won't listen to me when I tell them.
Zach, RLCS pros don't even do this.
There's
RLCS pros do this all the time.
Hundreds of boosts.
You think your high school team? You think your high school team is gonna rotate for small boost pads if RLCS pros don't? I don't know what to tell you.
Dream, can't I?
Sonic could dream for a goal.
Make it a 2-goal game, and he does.
Beautiful from T. Corral. Finally gets the look he was looking for, if you will. Andy taking one player out of the pitch, and T. Corral getting on the backside of that ball. Even had his foot to boot. Excellent work.
Does this look familiar, Jorby? 3-goal game, cut down to 2, 33 seconds left. A kickoff almost blew up in Soniqs' face, though, as Andy barely got to that ball. Here goes Aqua, can't stuff it home. 25 seconds for Andy. It worked out. Hey, one less defender on the field, too, and now 2 less defenders. Gyro was taken out, but Aqua thought about the midfield boost. Instead, he'll just take the ball. Gyro has a sitter here. He didn't really get anything behind it. There's still a chance. T. Corral, 7 seconds. Got to score right about now with a chance at a kickoff goal to tie, and they're not going to. Gyro with one more clear, and Rogue gets their 3rd win in a 2v2 today, and they tie up the series.
And now you got to start thinking about who you're putting in 1v1. I think it's Andy Aqua. Battle of the...
Yeah. I mean, it's been Taroko, T. Corral, Andy, and Aqua have all played 1v1s today for their respective sides. And of course, with ones being the format we haven't seen yet, we do have to go to 1v1, and then the loser there gets to at least choose what to play next between 3v3 and 2v2. But of course, as we talked about with that last series, Jorby, between All Mid and Oxygen, the winner here has a commanding lead in the series, albeit just the one game, because even though it didn't work out for Oxygen, you cannot lose without having one more choice.
I do think Soniqs are kind of benefiting no matter what, though, because they get to go back to 3v3, and I think that it depends how ZPS looks in the next 3v3. We're going to do 1v1 first. We're not going to 3v3 yet. But I thought ZPS looked really good in that 3v3, and I actually thought Andy ZPS would have been a good duo. I don't know if, I don't feel like T. Corral was really seeing the game too well in that 2v2 match. So if it ends up coming back after that 3v3 and Soniqs have to clutch up in a game 5, I think 2v2 maybe consider ZPS, but we'll think about that. I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We'll see which 2 players we get. I think it's going to be Andy. Yep, Andy versus Aqua. That makes sense to me. I think Andy looks very consistent behind the ball right now. Makes sense. And Aqua, obviously, your mechanical maniac over on Rogue. You got to go with him.
You know, Jorby, there's been some T. Corral slander there, and I'm sure there are a lot of T. Corral fans in the chat right now that are saying, Jorby, don't comment on pro play, please, unless you're a highly ranked player. I'm talking like Plat 2 or above. Here we go. 1v1 on the way. And Aqua can't keep this out. Andy will score first, 4 seconds in. Works out okay for the Soniqs.
Oh, yep. Andy just ends up flipping to the side of the ball. Aqua flipped on the wrong side, and that led to a quick kickoff goal for Andy. How many of those are we going to see? Neither of these teams want to play 1v1. They do everything they can to avoid playing it.
Yep. They are combined. They're combined 0 for 4 in 1v1s. Aqua bar down. He just watched. This is in slow motion as Andy's got 14 boosts in a dream, and Aqua's just like, nah, here. It's almost like watching those freestyle events. It's like, nah, here you go. I'll go back. I'll just kind of watch this. Aqua run to the backboard, and that's an impressive job catching this and making this follow-up save. Can he get there quickly enough? No, Andy's going to be able to get back and at least give a look defensively, and going to the corner did not cost him.
Andy's had really solid recoveries so far. It's promising, especially on that last shot. His recovery was almost perfect to recover. And that 50 as well. Can actually go for that corner boost, knowing that Aqua's gonna have to come back to get behind the ball. And Andy still got the push. Trying not to get chipped by Aqua's post. He's gonna dump that ball out, recollect in midfield. Wait for the push again. Andy currently driving. Aqua's starting to look. Get that first boost steal. That's good to keep the push up. That's a risky touch. You've just given Andy a free one, but he puts it down onto the ground. Aqua, not a lot of boost left here, and got the midfield, so no damage done as Andy launches it by. Did Aqua just get caught out? Oh, he just made the save.
Yeah, barely, but doesn't have a whole lot of boost in the tank. Andy's got him dead to rights, and he scores right down the middle. Aqua burned all of his boost, falling into his own net, and the ball followed him not long after.
Yeah, easy shot there for Andy, and I think that was just kind of a build-up as Aqua was really diving for a lot of those challenges. You see Andy only really left that ball when he knew he could go get boost. He stole away Aqua's options and made life really difficult. Forced Aqua onto the small pads, meaning every single time he's going to go for a challenge, he's pretty much going to extend most of his boost. And the few times he was able to get boost, he didn't have control. Andy was behind the ball and was able to deliver those goals. But that's a nice one from Aqua, and Andy forced own goal. Nice job by Aqua.
He did all he could to keep out the initial effort, then just could not get out of his own way. Just crossbar, post, Andy, goal.
Everywhere but away.
Yep, everywhere except where he wanted to put the ball. Hate to see it. Oh, this could be trouble for Aqua, though, as he's going to back off and give Andy boost and ball and space and the flick, but Aqua made the save.
Yeah, not the best flick there from Andy. No, Aqua going for that boost. Now it's got the ground pop air dribble, but he didn't need to get the bump. Nice job from Aqua taking away that option from Andy, and he's got the tying goal.
Yeah, I mean, just the threat of the bump is enough. He's screening Andy off the play, made him wait a little too long, and Andy not able to keep that out. And with 3 minutes left, just like the first 2 minutes didn't happen. We're all squared. Aqua just peels off this one. Bold strategy. We'll see how it works out for him. Almost
it's a good one. I think it
just kept that out.
Well, I think it's one that can really work. You can't go to it every time, but when you haven't been able to win those kickoffs, I think it's a good mix-up. You know, you might see that happen a lot in your ranked games, and those players are bad at it. But Aqua winning a massive challenge there. He's good at it, and he's going to get the goal and give Rogue a lead about halfway through this 1v1.
I believe it's 3 unanswered now out of Aqua, as he's got it rolling now, coming up on the halfway mark. And of course, 4 players, 2 on either side, watching very anxiously to see who will have a choice, who will be on match point going into a crucial 4th game. Still a lot of business to take care of here between Aqua and Andy. Aqua's not going to land cleanly, so Andy can take over. And oh, he put a lot behind this. Aqua stays with it, falls into the net. This time the ball's not coming in, and it's Aqua with a big clear. And can he turn on this? He sure can. 2-10, 2-goal lead.
I think Andy is getting a little too lax. He comes across on that challenge, and really a poor approach. He jumps to the side with a lot of speed going sideways, and then as soon as he flips over, he kind of just skirts off the ball because he's having to make up for the lost time that he spent going to get that corner boost, thinking the flow of the play will probably go over there, but Aqua getting that first save, it bounces straight back out, and Andy's all of a sudden out of position. So he was already not going to be in a good position to make that challenge favorable, and it all started with where he went after that initial shot. And Aqua's going to do it again, and this is just completely fallen out of Andy's favor. He pulls off again, going for that corner boost, waiting along the back wall. You had it. You had that touch, but it's the timing on the flip. He's again behind it. His nose isn't behind the ball, it's to the side of it, so when he front flips, he gets no power onto it. Andy's approach on these challenges, not the best, and Aqua's punishing.
4 goals and an assist in the team portion of our first couple of games. And now 5 goals here for Aqua as he has figured Andy out. And now it's Andy that has to make the mid-game adjustment. That's a good one as Aqua got caught up on the wall. He thought he had a lot more time than he did. Andy gets one back to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, good carry from Andy. Aqua does pull off, and like you said, the ramp slowing down his approach. It's one of those where you think, okay, I can cut across, I can jump, make the 50 happen, but going up that ramp, certainly a risky choice for Aqua as he slows down, trying to catch Andy out. On the kickoff again, trying to play reactionary to it, but Andy's got a chance to come back big time in a demo to set it all up.
Winner puts their team on match point to reach the top 4. An important milestone here in this North American Gamers Without Borders tournament. Andy has all day to shoot this, and Aqua tracked him the whole way. 50 in the tank, that's plenty as he can get downfield. Down to 18, and Andy's got to give it, or Aqua has got to give it up. Oh, what a win, though. Can he turn around on this one? Andy's going to have time to get back and save this away.
Wasting a lot of time for Andy. Oh, Aqua just gave the ball up. He doesn't know that Andy doesn't have any boost. Andy uses the little bit he's got to get the flick. Try to push Aqua off the ball, but he's just got too much control and too much boost. Now he's forced the whole way back as Aqua goes the other way. Reset available. What a shot! Aqua puts it in the back and maybe puts this out of reach for Andy.
Ellen's Pride, the 6th goal here out of Aqua. Boy, did he make it look pretty. Andy thought he could track him the whole way. Not the case. Getting doubled up now by Rogue's Aqua. The young stud who was brought in to elevate Rogue. And he's doing exactly that. Oh, what a win there, too. Andy thought this was going to roll down for him. And now he's got to burn some boost, get around on a shot. He does. Needs one more touch and doesn't have it. Oh, he just ran out of real estate.
Oh, hit off the post, too. Aqua was there to cover it just in case he got any closer. Try as he may, I think the door's closed here for Andy. Only 10 seconds left. He could get a nice flick. It might look nice, but Aqua has really clutched up on the defense. Andy got a couple nice air dribbles, caught Aqua out on a couple of opportunities, but for the most part, I think Aqua really handled business nicely in this 1v1. We'll put Rogue up 2-1, and now where do we go? 2v2 stacks? You think that's what Soniqs want here, or are we going back to 3s?
No, I think you want a 3v3. If you're Soniqs, you look at these two teams and where they are in this tournament. Soniqs are 4-1, including in this round in 3v3s. And they are 1v1 when they get to pick it. Andy has already called it out. He's not even going behind the scenes with admins or anything. He's just saying, let's go 3s. And that's a wise choice because you got a Rogue team that's 1-3, and their only one is with Corrupted G out there instead of Aqua. So, yeah, I think you absolutely have to go with 3s. You have to go with what gives you the best chance to get to a 5th game. And at that point, I think a 2v2 is kind of a toss-up. I think a 1v1 might be a toss-up because you saw what happened to Andy here with Aqua. Maybe you throw T. Corell up there if there's another 1v1 matchup. Soniqs are by no means out of this just yet.
But it put them in a really tough spot. I actually think that while Rogue has never picked 1v1, if they end up losing this 3v3, I think it would behoove them to pick the 1v1 because Aqua looks pretty strong, and I don't know who you put in other than Andy. I think T-Corral will give you a similar performance that Andy would give, and I don't think ZPS is the answer either in 1v1. So if I'm Rogue and you're thinking ahead, you win this game, or rather you lose this game, then 1v1's in your back pocket. You already have the confidence in Aqua. You saw him play defense against Andy, who was probably the best who they could put out there. We'll see how this 3v3 goes. Rogue got a big chance here to head to Riyadh. It's going to be, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. This could go either way for me, Stacks.
I asked the question during the last series between Oxygen and All Mid if we thought maybe that reality had set in, that little added bit of pressure that you get to qualify for a land that has all that money on the line and the trip to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia at the end of all of this. And I wonder if it's the same for these guys as Gyro skies one away, playing for charity here this week. But then there's a big payoff waiting at the end if either of them can get into the land over the summer. Aqua trying to get around Andy. That's going to go right back to Gyro. And T. Corell just waiting patiently for Aqua to take this away from him. Taroko downfield. Aqua's there. Almost got the redirect.
Well, CPS turned it right back around to T. Corell, who wins the next touch. But there's not going to be a quick follow-up for the Soniqs. Aqua gets that touch off the ramp, and Rogue take the ball right back where I thought Soniqs were going to get a good, really a mini power play, if you will, with that T. Corell touch. But now Aqua's giving the ball back up. And it's typical Rogue Soniqs game where this happens. It's like, it's classic.
I don't think you needed Soniqs in there. I think Spaceman would tell us it's a typical Rogue game.
It's just Rogue. Rogue just put this on the other team.
Wide there. And you saw what happened to Aqua, though, on the side. I mean, look, any player can relate. You just kind of try and get maybe a wave dash of some kind coming off the wall, and you know that ramp just eats your jump. GPS cannot make the stop. He needed a GPS to track that from Taroko. 90 seconds gone by just about, and Rogue opens up the scoring in a game that could close this out.
You know, ZPS looked like like one of those RTS pawns that lose their pathfinding halfway through trying to get to their destination. It's like, why are you going over there? I'm clicking over here. Defend the net. Poor ZPS.
Oh, Gyro let this drop for Aqua, and ZPS hasn't had much go his way as he lost that challenge out. This will be boom downfield. Andy is there. Taroko waiting. T. Corral takes the shot. Andy was a decoy the whole time, and Rogue took the bait.
Oh, Andy jumps up like he's looking like he's going for the redirect, but then turns off ball cam and barrels right around Aqua, forced him to avoid him. Brilliant idea there from Andy to switch it up. You'll love that.
You see it, and it almost never works, but when it does, oh, it's a thing of beauty. And it's gonna be tilting too for the opposition. It's one of those goals that, you know, under the right mentality, or the wrong mentality in this case, could be worth more than just the single goal on the scoreboard. As ZPS now has something going, a big clear off of Gyro, and T. Corral is just gonna lean into one up top. And Taroko barely got a piece. Aqua shuts down Andy. That was dangerous for the Rogue defense, but they held tall. Now ZPS, try again, denied.
Still got the ball. Andy's got a full tank. 50 skirts out over to ZPS, who kicks it hard. ZPS got a chance. Lets it drop underneath on the 50. Aqua left on the back wall, and he's got the first touch. Gyro takes away T. Corral's option, but T. Corral, the demo, wants the pass on the far side. ZPS the whole way back in midfield, but he comes up and the ball skirts away from him as Aqua moves down the field. Quick shot taken away by T. Corral.
Oh, Taroko needed to get that first touch with ZPS bearing down on him from behind, and he did so. Imagine if Rogue can score from here. Not gonna happen, as Andy lets that one go and will play the long game, trying to get this out of the zone. Only got as far as Aqua. There's ZPS tying it up in the corner. Corner boost available, taken by ZPS, so no starve out there. And a chance for ZPS to clear, and he does. So that's a missed opportunity for Rogue.
Oh?
Big opportunity for the Soniqs, but ZPS denied at point-blank range by Aqua, and that's given away by T. Corral. Down to Taroko for the lead. No, denied. It's Andy to the rescue.
Oh, T. Corral, what a move. He's got who to beat still, and can't fool Taroko on that play. Tried to drill that one underneath him, but Taroko gets there and bails him out. Oh, T. Corral always looks like he's on the verge of a transition attack, but then someone on Rogue is able to get in there, Stacks, and take the ball away. And you're thinking it's only a matter of time before the transition goal happens for Rogue. Soniqs have had some really good looks at the net. They have one really good goal to their name, but they still need one more. And here comes Taroko, back with Gyro. Actually, it's just Taroko, and can't bull through ZPS, as Soniqs got to play more defense. Hard touch from Gyro. Aqua in the air, pushes through, goal!
Aqua comes through again, but it's Gyro that sets it all up. Aqua just underneath. T. Corral can't catch up. It feels like Soniqs have been overall the better 3v3 team. They had that big lead in game one. It evaporated in less than 20 seconds. And now Rogue have a chance to get their first win with this team comp in a threes game today. ZPS makes a heroic save. Got to get downfield though. Andy met with Taroko. Finally got around him. Trying a little slingshot play to get by. Didn't work out. Now Andy's got to steer this away, and he doesn't. So T. Corral hung out to dry against Aqua, and that race to the boost will leave one by Aqua. There is no boost right now at all for the Soniqs collectively. Finally, ZPS has some, but they've got to get out of this zone. Down to 12 seconds. Gyro just got it out to the side. That's a great play, not trying to take the shot. And now time wasting away again. Soniqs finally clear the zone, but Taroko puts it away. Rogue advances to tomorrow.
Rogue do it in 4. Soniqs just could not get it done on offense. Only 5 shots, despite all of the pressure that they had, Stacks, despite how close it looked at times. The reality is, Rogue's third was better than the Soniqs third.
Yep.
And that's all that matters to go to LAN. Rogue didn't have to
That's
go to
incredible.
5 to do it. I'm sure Spaceman is, watching from the stands thinking, man, I didn't have to sweat
Hootie
too
who's
hard
excited as well.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
true.
with Rogue, this is a huge day in their kind of maturation as competitors, because these are the games that Rogue has lost over the last several months. These are the series that they've just fallen short. They get pushed to the brink by Xset, they come out on top. They run into Space Station. Okay, it's Space Station, you got us. But then they go down to the lower bracket, and they were up against it here with the Soniqs. But the Soniqs fall short. It is Rogue that advances not just to tomorrow, but they are LAN bound over the summer as